Hello and welcome to Sports by Compian. My name, of course, is your host, Stephen Compian, and I am joined here by my powerful co-host, the man who makes sure we have information about the you may or may not care about, Corey
True.
Compian, here to give us information and other things. Corey, how are you?
Doing fantastic. It seems like, it's going to be deja vu from last time we did one of these when I said I just got back from San Francisco. But believe it or not, I went to San Francisco 2 weeks in a row. I just got
No
back
way.
yesterday. Yet again.
Wow.
I
Back in
know.
San Francisco again. We have once
I know.
again snagged the Corey as he comes back into his own home. We're like, quick, get on the pod, tell us
On
information.
immediately.
We need to know, and the information we need to let you people know about is that the XFL has wrapped up week 1. The MLR is rolling into week 8, and we have some information to give you about both these leagues.
Week 8 already. How about that?
It's not XFL, it's UFL, Corey. God.
UFL. United Football League,
It
man. They're
kind of
united
sounds
as fuck out here.
It sounds like UFOs, but like just one letter off. So, Anyway, exciting times about both these leagues to be talked about. In fact, we're going to start right now with the XFL and UFL having week 1, Corey. Week 1's in the books for them. We didn't brush up on all these games here on Sports by Compian, but we did watch most of the St. Louis Battlehawks. We know what's going on with them more or less. So exciting times for them. Corey, let's go to that game. They've moved on from AJ McCarron. Okay, they're tired of losing in the playoffs. They're like, enough of this. We deserve better. With how we've run our. They were always good, like during the season, and then they just, bobble it when it gets to the playoffs. Apparently, so they've moved on from AJ McCarron now. This is the weirdest summary I've ever seen. Why is this not like aesthetically pleasing at all?
What am I looking at? So we got touchdown, I guess. They're like,
total yards over here.
It took 4 minutes off the clock. It was in the first quarter, and that dude scored. And then, like 5 seconds later, they did a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Here's a little better. So this dude, Manny Wilkins, who has taken over now. Not like tons of passing yards, as you see, 189, nothing crazy, but he does have a good arm. He's a big boy, so he likes to pull down the ball and do a lot of running himself, Corey. Shocker. In this league, mobile quarterbacks
running themselves?
You would never see that.
77%. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so he had 8 carries for 43 yards. To add to that, 2 touchdowns. Two ties just running over people into the end zone. Their run game was strong all day. Two running backs who almost got over 100 yards. Dude, Jacob Sailors, since last year, I love the way this guy runs the ball. There was a third down play, or maybe they're going for it on 4th, where they threw it to him short. He catches it. And, like, a dude has him a good 3 yards before the first down. He's just like, no, dude. And he's just fighting and barely. And he picks up that and more. It was crazy.
He's like, let me show you where the first down marker is. It's over here in case you missed it. It's this way. Come with me, friend. I'll show you.
And he ran it like a beast. Like, he only had 98 yards, but his longs of like 25 and stuff are very impressive runs.
I mean,
just running
98 rushing yards is nothing to scoff at.
No, not at all, especially on 16 attempts. He's just maybe a little outdone by Howard, who also had a really good day.
Yeah.
So both the running backs were feasting. Manny Wilkins was doing well when he was running it.
The other dude had less attempts and more yards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A little bit there.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, Howard had himself a good day, too. But overall, man, 5 rushers, 41 carries for 273, an average of 6.7 every time they ran the ball. You're going to win. You're going to win, Corey. And, credit to the Roughnecks defense. They actually held up a couple times in the red zone or would have a turnover on downs. Like, they tried to keep the Roughnecks in this game, but they just got no help from Nolan Henderson. No, it was Anthony Brown for most of the game. Right? Henderson came in late. So as you can see, they had Anthony Brown in there. My man had a total of like 21 yards, 2 interceptions. It was real bad for Mr. Brown, like a real bad game for him, Corey. And so they're like, Nolan, get in there, Nolan. And he was a little bit better. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to be their starter going forward. But regardless, tough day at the office for Anthony Brown. Could not get anything going on offense.
The dude, Nolan, he didn't throw picks, but he had a worse completion percentage.
By a little bit, by like
Also, look at
0.7% at this point. Who cares?
But like, look at his QBR. Well, I guess 68 is definitely better than
Bro,
12. I'll
my
give
man
you
had
that.
21 yards. Like, he almost had as many rushing yards as he had passing. But he only beat his rushing yard by 1 yard.
It's a rough day.
And then for
Rough
some
day
reason,
in
they
the
just
office.
did not run the ball much. Like, they had a grand total of like 11 carries here between their actual running backs.
Well, they're behind, aren't
They're
they?
behind. Yeah, it was an absolute mess. Rough way for the Roughnecks to start the season.
Tough start.
Tough start for them. And yeah, the Battlehawks defense, dude, showed up to play. They were all over the field, like I said, making it real hard on your boy when he was just starting out. Like, look at all these sacks, dude. Holy cow.
Damn.
No way. There's no way.
Sacks?
No, there's no way. That can't be a real stat.
Sacks. That's too
No,
many.
those are solo.
Okay.
Solo. Good Lord, we're idiots. All right, well, they had 3 sacks, 3 tackles.
21 sacks in a game would be wild.
Well, they didn't have to tackle. They didn't have to do much of tackling in general. Like, they had 37 total tackles. All right, this is where these stats are kind of working out the way they have this laid out. It's kind of weird, but we're getting used to it, I guess. The Roughnecks had like 66. That just shows the discrepancy of who was on the field for as long as they were on the field. Yeah. Anyway, I also saw the Renegades absolutely destroy the Brahmas, was it? Yeah, it was the Brahmas. The Brahmas got wrecked. Luis Perez is still out there doing his thing for the Renegades. Did throw an interception, but overall, he's pretty competent. Most of these games were not as close. The one that was interesting is the Stallions losing week 1 against the DC Defenders. Which,
I was gonna say,
shout out.
That their first loss in like the 3 seasons they've been around. Like, they've won undefeated every season. Like, this might be their first.
No, they lost a couple games in the regular season.
I don't think so. Like, what year?
They did for sure. Last year, I feel like even. We got to look at their schedule, their record from last year. While you do that, shout out that the game of weekend of April 20th, which will be the 21st, is it that Sunday?
No, the 20th is
the 20th. Yeah, so it's actually Sunday. Okay, yeah, so April 20th, Sports by Compian fans will be, the whole staff pretty much will be out there in person at the game of the Defenders playing against the Brahmas. It's going to be a showdown, Corey. Are we ready? Are they ready for this much Compian protect power?
They're not going to be ready for all of us showing up. Just ready all the time.
Just in their place, you know.
Okay, like, so no, you're right. So in the USFL they were 9-1, then 8-2, then UFL they were 9-1.
They don't lose a lot, but they do lose.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. I thought that they were just like straight up undefeated. I was like, historic, but no, this is I mean, it also seems. Probably in a league like this, it's kind of like college draft. Like, you lose most of your good players.
Yeah.
But I think
for sure.
kind of lost players. Like,
everyone does, which is the whole goal. Like, it's kind of like for college, they get to have bragging rights now and get more players easily.
Like, we got X amount of dudes into the NFL. We could showcase your skills.
Well, the Stallions are going to be tested again when they play against the Panthers, who are coming off a big win against the Showboats. So they're going to have to get their shit together, Corey, because it's going to be interesting. Meanwhile, the Brahmas, who are struggling, are going to go play against the the Battlehawks at home. Good luck, Brahmas.
So we have a week of sporting. Let's see, what time are these games? They're nighttime. I like that. Maybe I can wander off to a bar.
There's a game tonight. There's a game. The Stallions are tonight. I think by the time this airs, which will be tomorrow, so that you people already know who won this. So don't spoil it for us by coming back into the future and breaking down the show and telling us who won.
But are these lunatics playing at midnight?
No.
Look at the second, the Roughnecks against the Arlington Renegades.
That's 12 p.m., sir.
So that's midday. Fair enough. They're playing at midday. Well, because the other one's at 9, and they're saying it's before.
No, they're at 8. 8 and 6:30. It's all okay. It's all under control.
It's all okay. It's all under control. Fair enough. Yeah, because 2 of them are on Sunday. That makes more sense. I'm with it.
Yeah, they're both on Sunday.
But yeah, I might be able to see some of these here football games, and then scroll down. I think week 3 is when we get involved.
They don't have week 3 here. How dare you?
Dare they not have week 3? Losers.
Yeah, wait.
No, there's week 3.
Here's week 3. All
So St.
right.
Louis, no, we're
No, so
week
it's the next
4.
one. We're week 4. Yeah.
We're week 4. I
Yeah,
knew
it's
that. I
this
was
one.
testing you.
That's
I
too
think,
bad, actually, because I bet they would have had some Battlehawk swag I could have bought. Oh, well. Plus, that one's in
yeah.
St. Louis. So I should just go see them in St. Louis and then go see them the next week, too. Like a real DC defender.
I'm super busy that day, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But no, I think this is gonna be a good time. I was kind of Battlehawks, but I feel like now that I realize that DC is kind of the only field I can get to regularly, maybe
Yeah,
I just
no,
have
you're
to
going to have
dog
to be a
shit.
DC defender fan.
At least for this game. I think long term I still want to stay Battlehawks, but I think for this game at least, we got to be
Makes
DC. Got to root
sense.
for the home team.
Gots to, dude. Gots to. We'll be at Aldi Field. And so will we, motherfuckers. That's right. Sports by
Right.
Compian.
That's
Just
right.
sending upon Aldi Field. Anyway, Corey, that's what's going on with the UFL.
Yep.
Now let's talk some MLR. They're already into week 4. I mean, 8. Yeah, that's right, Sports by Compian fans. We haven't told you anything about these guys. Unless you've been keeping up on the subreddit, we have been pumping out random facts. Not like a lot. Not enough to really know what's going on. But we're sending some stuff out there. You know, if you're paying attention, you know, like about Lucas Rumble leading the league in tackles, at least before a couple weeks ago.
We have a subreddit?
Of course we do, Corey. It's us.
I was testing you.
Yeah, of course we do.
It's when we advertise our merch, of course.
Oh, yeah, the merch. Yeah, that's where it gets advertised. Yeah, that's where it is. Anyway, Corey, I need you to be serious here because this is serious time.
Oh, no, dude. I'm the most serious guy in the room. Like,
and Nola almost trapped the East leaders. That's right. If you still thought the Chicago Hounds were expanding, still figuring their life out, they went to the Western Conference Finals last year. Maybe it was a fluke. Maybe it wasn't. No, it wasn't a fluke, Corey. They are leading the East, and they're not falling for trap games. Nola Gold came into this game hyped, fast, crazy. They were going to score tries. You know, Chicago was like doing what Chicago loves to do is get tons of cards. They love getting cards, these guys. They're always getting tons of cards.
Do they think they're playing Pokemon where you just got to catch them all?
They're crazy, dude. They're always getting tons of cards. And so, like, Nola, like, goes up, like, I think, like, 11-3 at one point, 11-0. It was real grim for the Hounds. They're just so noobed up, and, like, everyone was off the field with cards. So, like, eventually, they finally get their shit together in the second half and, like, start scoring some tries. McLean Jones took a beautiful line and just, like, fucking got this offload and took it to the house. I think he had, like, 8 tries or something for the season, our boy McLean. You remember McLean? We did a sports studies on him. He's the dude from Australia who's playing for the Hounds.
Right.
Anyway, he's scoring tons of tries this season, so good for him. And they survive a trap game against Nola Gold is basically what happened. Nola gets back into it in the last couple minutes. They get one more try. Real close stuff, but Chicago ends up with the ball, bleed out the clock, and kick it out of bounds. Good times for all, except for, of course, Nola Gold. Like, they didn't enjoy it as much, and I think they've lost 4 games in a row now. So they probably weren't as happy.
I vaguely remember Nola Gold being in, like, championships like 2 or 3 years ago when we were covering this.
I don't want to correct you because I'm not totally sure myself. I don't believe so. They are a playoff team. I don't know if they've sucked, but they're like they were beating Chicago last year, and you know they were in the playoffs last year, I believe. In other news, the San Diego Legion, who were undefeated going into this week, literally there was weeks. This is going there. They were like 6-0 or 7-0 or something, and they have the Houston game at the SaberCats Stadium and just get absolutely spanked. They went into Houston, Corey, and got spanked. The Cats were all over them. They were just constantly attacking. Like, it was hard for San Diego to score because they never had the ball. And the SaberCats did instead, and they were just, like, doing sweet offloads, and, like, the ball just never died. It was just constantly, like, one dude would get tackled, and somehow some Sabercat would just come out of nowhere. He'd be like, hey, give me that ball. Yeah, I'm gonna run with it for a while now. And then he would get tackled. Like, all right, no worries. Let me pass it up to the next Sabercat who appeared out of the ether. And the Legion's just, like, falling back on defense. They're like, what's happening? Where are all these Sabercats coming from? And next thing they know, their undefeated season is done, baby. It was over very, very, like, quick. Like, I would say, like, 60-something minutes into the second half. Like, it was like, okay. I guess the Legion's not going to come back on this. Because, yeah, dude, they got smacked. They had a couple tries in the end there. But overall, tough times for the boys.
So is there some kind of a draft or something? Like, how are – because I feel like SaberCats and the Hounds, last time I heard about this, were like winless. They were at the bottom, and now both of them are kicking ass. How did they improve? So how, why?
No,
My
so the
good
SaberCats
man.
have always been really good. They actually been really good. They haven't had like the best playoff success,
Do like
but
a
they're
standings thing. See which
but
team.
they've been in the playoff. They started off the year and lost to the Hounds, but they've been on a rampage ever since. They won every single game since. So yeah, you can see the Hounds are sitting on top of the East. It's kind of a weaker East this year. You can see Old Glory's there at 3-3. Free Jackets are finding a way to hang around. They've been kind of getting smacked this year. They are the defending champions. Kind of been getting punched around a little bit this year, so it's been a bit of a tough time for them. But they are still in third, still in striking distance. Miami's having tons of close games with like everyone and their mom, but can't seem to get over the hump, and they haven't been able to secure these victories. They've been having like leads late in games and doing dumb shit and turning the ball over, and the other team scores. Like Noah Gold still won from them that way, I believe. And Old Glory similar. They're very close in most of their games. Like they had an absolute shootout with LA last week, but ultimately couldn't pull it off. Anthem is still looking for their first win as a club, I believe.
Tough.
Tough.
Yeah. -82.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
All right, so
and then San Diego is 5-1 and Houston is 5-1.
Am I crazy? Was Old Gold or Old Glory, were they the New York team? Now they're DC?
They were always DC. Yeah, no, the New York team was the Iron Workers, and they folded.
There you go. Oh,
they folded after winning the championship. Like I think they won in like 21 or 22 one of these, and then just like folded right afterwards.
Bummer, dude. They're like, we're retiring champs. Peace out.
The same thing happened to the LA Guillotines. Like they won like 2 years in a row, I think, and then their owner was like got butthurt at the league and just ran off with them and the Austin Guillotines, who both are Gonza now.
Brutal.
It's a turbulent time, man, in MLR history. But, we are prevailing. The teams like San Diego Legion who have been around and are quite dominant this year. The Seawolves find themselves at the bottom of the pile, which is quite surprising. Former champion, always in the Western Conference final. So pretty interesting. But, yeah, they are here in the bottom as of now. So it was, I don't know, I guess it is week 8, but most of these teams have only played 6 games. So
5 weeks.
5 weeks, yeah. 5 weeks, Corey.
5 weeks are important, man. Gotta rest the boys.
Gotta rest the boys.
They're killing each other every day.
Yeah, I can't do it every single day. Oh, but what is going to be crazy this week is what we have is the Hounds versus San Diego. So 2 5-1 teams face it off. Should be very interesting. And then in addition to that, LA is going to be playing the SaberCats. Anthem will be looking for their first win against Nola Gold. They might have a chance against the struggling Nola Gold right now. And Glory versus Seattle Seawolves. Very, very good games all around. Most of these games are going to be very close, I suspect. New England Free Jackets and Miami as well should also be close. So some good games this weekend as well. All starting off mostly Saturday with the Free Jackets game bleeding into Sunday. So we'll get excited about that, Corey.
Dude, I'm pumped.
You in particular need to get excited about this.
Dude, the amount of pumped I am, like Patrick may be napping now, but as soon as he wakes up and I tell him about this, dude, he's gonna be bouncing off the fucking walls.
He's also gonna be excited?
Dude, he loves rugby. He tries to play rugby with his cousin every time he sees him. Loki's not into it, but he tries.
That's awesome. All right, Cor. We're gonna wrap this up. All right, that was enough information about the XFL and MLR. These people know about it all now. They know what's going on. Do you know what's going on? Do you feel more informed about these 2 leagues?
Steven, here's the thing: is I was never uninformed.
I
telepathically absorbed the information as soon as it happens. All those questions I was asking you, that was for the benefit of the audience because I knew all along.
You're a smart cookie.
It's because I'm basically a wizard,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sweet, dude. All right. Well, on that note, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Sportsbook Copy of Heads. Thank you for supporting the show, liking and subscribing our content, sharing it with your friends and enemies, and all that kind of good stuff. Corey, any parting words for the fine people?
You should share this with your enemies, and also Well, they're distracted watching the video because we have such.
Oh, damn. He froze right when he was telling them what we have. Which I was thinking he was about to say hell of charm is what I think he was going to say, Sports by Copy fans. We're going to have to roll with that because Corey has been... Oh, he's back. Corey, we lost you there.
I'm back.
It was scary, but...
Scary.
But you said that basically while they're watching the video, because we have hell of...
Oh, riveting charm. We're just,
right.
We're so entertaining and like you want to be watching us.
Exactly.
So much information. While they're distracted, you can steal their wallet and do other such evil to your enemies.
Exactly, dude. Beautiful. I couldn't have put it better myself. Here at Sports Copy and Fans, we absolutely condone steal your enemies' wallets. All right.
I don't need it.
We're out of here.